two abatement requests, one for buildings improvements, the other for the equipment. We're only looking out over the initial startup of the business. We anticipate they would come back at some point in, say, 2013, 2014 for a second phase of expansion. So at this point we have looking at $1.6 million for real estate and another $1.6 million for equipment, creation of up to 9 new jobs, average wage of somewhere in the ballpark of $30,000 a year, with completion date of both projects into 2013 for the investments. We've certainly talked about this project quite a bit. About a 20,000 square foot building for the proposed project to work with steel and foundry customers, and looking to get the project facility underway sometime end of the year, first next year. So,
if I remember correctly, they have like a 7-year contract with Steel Dynamics to take their products. So.
Right. So we have some level of due diligence as far as understanding, that they have customers in place. The company has worked with our small business program and has accessed other state and federal incentive programs. So we're looking at all the resources we can bring to bear to support this project. But of course, one of the keystones is looking at the tax abatement recommendation. And again, we're recommending a 10-year abatement on building and equipment, and we need to then take that to county council at this point as well. Abed Bengali, the principal in the company, had hoped he was going to be here today, but was flying back from D.C. for the long weekend back to Chicago yesterday. His flights were late, so he'll be in later this morning to sign the paperwork, and has actually offered to have some kind of open house in the next few weeks or month to kind of meet some elected officials he hasn't met yet, but extended his apology for not being here this morning.
It's not a great number of jobs, but they're pretty fairly good jobs. I thought that was going to be higher than that.
Well, if we look at additional phases of the project, I think it's foreseeable it could get up to 20, 25 jobs in that ballpark. But for this abatement, we thought for bookkeeping purposes, we keep to just the initial startup and then come back and do a second abatement request for the expansion. We've taken a similar approach, worked with companies even as large as CNA Tool and Cherubusco, where rather than looking at it over 3 or 4 years, we just capture a year-to-year increment of what the growth would be, just to help with the bookkeeping.
This is basically a recommendation we make to the council.
And are they bringing people with them?
Now there'll be new hires.
They'll all be new. I guess that's where I thought they would be making more, was because of the salaries of 360 divided by 9 was almost 40-some thousand. So it did make sense. 40,675. Unless someone's going to be making a lot more.
So I imagine there'll be a plant manager, general manager position, engineer, quality. There'll be some well-paid positions, but also, and then the mix of that, just production and logistics, and maybe, more 25 to 30,000 a year.
How many people do they have in Napersville?
Oh, it's a smaller operation, 4 to 5, something in that ballpark. So this will be the first production facility. Abed's background is in material sourcing, so for a customer like SDI, he'll identify sources of raw materials and essentially broker those materials for a company like that. So this will be a new venture into actually then taking those materials and processing them into a higher value feedstock that can be used in the steel mills or the foundry applications.
I'm like Bill, I thought maybe there'd be, I thought we were looking at 12 to 16 employees originally on this. do that. I think this is something that we basically agreed upon in our stage in talking about it, so. I know that our process has been somewhat of a struggle through this, but I move that we approve resolution number 2012-10
I second.
for 10 years.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the 2012-10 resolution, making the commitment for 10 years. In both cases.
For real estate and personal.
Yeah, that both.
Yes.
It's all in one resolution. And I have a second for that. Any further discussion?
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Brooks, you want to ask something? You can look at it.
Yes. I mean, is it pretty standard that it's just gonna be 10 years on the abatements for everyone?
I can't remember a time when we made it for less.
Has there ever been any discussion about making it for less?
In this particular case, no, there has been some of the others. The only one I can remember that I think we shortened up was when, correct me if I'm wrong, I think when, Autoliv abandoned the building and we did away with the abatement, I think it came back and we made that for 5 years. After that, we could put it back on, but only for 5 years, there we go.
We gave it to 80/20, but at the year that was already existing for Autoliv. We didn't go back and pick it up at 100. We skipped a year of the building having any abatement.
Yeah.
And then I think they were in their 6th year or something, and we picked them up at that percentage of the 6-year, 10-year abatement.
I know we did, I know we made an adjustment, I don't remember the exact case, but we've always been 10-year. I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for that. One of them is that it doesn't cost you any money out of the pocket to make an incentive to get up here.
Yeah, but I guess the concern I have is, I mean, part of TIF is to generate revenue.
Right. And by getting
And by-
we're generating revenue through income taxes.
But again, I feel, I mean, my concern is we keep giving the whole farm away. You know, we sell the ground for less than we got in it. And then we just keep giving. It seems like there ought to be some negotiation in there that, hey, you want to buy the ground for this, then you're only going to get a 5-year abatement. You know, if you're going to pay this much for it, then we'll give you a 10-year abatement. I mean, I keep feeling we just keep giving stuff away all the time.
The thing is, Brooks, it necessarily doesn't work like that, because when we talked abatement with Ovid, we didn't know exactly where he was gonna land. There's been communities like Wabash County and so forth that's given the land to the companies to get them here. Historically, we have went 10 years, and I guess with this company, them being so close, working with SDI and so forth, we think they'll stay and hopefully they expand. I believe that metal that they recycle is pretty good quality, because all I've ever heard is SDI will take everything that they can get from that. It's a new source from where SDI gets their steel and scrap and so forth, and we know as the years go, scrap amounts will be getting less and less unless they come up with new things like this to get scrap out of. So, you know, that's something maybe we need to look at a little better, but normally we don't get a package where they're necessarily buying land and that too. You know, that's something we can look at if they come back in for their expansion.
Yeah, we should, but basically it gets down to what you have to do to get them, no matter what it is. Negotiation deal, and there are other people out there trying to get them, like Jim said, Wabash County. I further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Okay.
Well noted, Bill. Brooks.
Yeah.
As I said, with the price of land, now maybe if Wabash is giving it away, that's one thing, but do they have to give it away because of their location? I mean, we got a lot of stuff to sell here in the county, and I just hate to see us sell ourselves short when we've got everything right here. I don't think we have to give as much away.
I think we got an eye opener on one company that we're talking to, and I don't know if you've heard back from them, Alan, but they didn't consider US 30 necessarily a interstate highway. If I'm correct, Alan, 69 certainly was, and 80 and 90 and so forth. Stoplights.
Speed that up.
Like I mentioned
they didn't
before, I
consider-
think
Yeah, so.
30's killing itself by all the stoplights on it. I almost as quick to go up to 89 and cut across.
Yeah, but we got people wanting more of them out there.
Yeah. So, but that.
But I mean, something like Rail Connect, I mean, the whole point of that is, I mean, that was sold on was, there's no other place like that around. I know this really isn't using the rail,
Yeah, I'm gonna say this
you know,
is not
part of
one
it,
that
but,
went into that.
I mean, once we get to the point of selling it, does have rail access. I
Was,
mean, if you only got one,
was REMC coming? Let's, we got 3 items left on, 4 items left, 3 items left on here. The RMC contract lighting, Gateway Park and Real Connect Park.